The woman merely snapped her fingers lightly. All the furniture in the house vanished into thin air. She had stored it all away in her system space. Then she took her jewelry and ornaments with her as well. But she was far from done. She even cleaned out every single dish from the kitchen. Once she finished all that, the woman headed to her cousin's room, the same cousin who'd been bullying her since they were kids. She sucked her into the system space and dumped her straight into the chicken coop out back. The reason she was doing all this was because in her past life her husband and cousin had teamed up to kill her. As she lay dying, she made herself a promise. If she ever got another chance at life, she'd make that cheating pair pay 100 times over. What she never expected was that she'd actually get reborn, and today just happened to be the day of her engagement party with her fiancé. Looking at the cheating pair putting on their little act, the woman walked right up and slapped her cousin across the face. She even called off the engagement in front of all their family and friends. Then she snatched back the bracelet her cousin had stolen from her. The whole scene descended into chaos, and just like that the wedding came to a screeching halt. The woman then returned to her bridal chamber. She intended to retrieve the dowry that belonged to her. Just as she reached for the radio, her bracelet suddenly emitted a golden glow. The radio before her was instantly sucked into the bracelet. The woman realized this bracelet was no ordinary object. It was a vast storage space. She proceeded to pack every single item in the bridal chamber into the bracelet. In just 1 minute, the entire room was completely empty. Just as she looked back at the bracelet, a miraculous scene unfolded. The bracelet suddenly sucked her inside. Within lay a mystical spring realm. This space could not only store items, but its spring water even eased her deep fatigue. When she emerged from the bracelet space, she felt her body brimming with renewed strength. But just then, her fiancé burst into the room. When he saw the empty space, his face instantly turned ashen. The man's mother assumed the house must have been burglarized, but the man immediately declared the woman responsible. Watching them stomp their feet in frustration, the woman openly admitted it was her doing. She then pulled out a letter and read it aloud to everyone. It turned out to be a love letter written by the man's mother to her old lover. This left the man's mother utterly humiliated. She immediately tried to snatch the letter away in a rage, but just then, she stumbled and fell to the ground. The fall left her paralyzed. The man flew into a rage. He lunged at the woman to strike her, but she countered with a backhand that sent him flying. Seeing her immense strength, the man immediately knelt begging for mercy. After she finished teaching this adulterous pair a lesson, she turned and walked away without looking back. But when she got home, her foster mother showed zero concern for her. Instead, she demanded that she give up her job at the textile factory to her cousin. But the woman had already seen right through this family. She flat out refused her foster mother's demand. Seeing that the woman actually dared to defy her foster mother immediately grabbed a stick and swung it at her. But the woman just stood up and shoved her foster mother away. Right then, the woman's father came rushing out after hearing the commotion, asking them what was going on. Her foster mother immediately turned the tables, claiming the woman had hit her for no reason. Her father instantly told the woman to apologize to her foster mother and give the textile factory job to her cousin. Then they'd call it even. The woman let out a cold laugh. She said she'd be willing to give the job to her cousin, but only if they signed a family severance agreement first. But this family was still dumb enough to think the woman couldn't survive without them, so they happily signed the severance agreement. What they didn't know was, the woman's revenge was about to come down on them. After everyone had fallen asleep, she put her plan into motion. She quietly slipped into her foster mother's room, then proceeded to absorb all the furniture into her bracelet storage space. But just then, she discovered a wooden box tucked under her foster mother's pillow. She quickly pulled the box out, but when she opened it, she was shocked to find it was filled with jewelry. Without hesitation, she stored it in her bracelet space. Then she turned around and made their bed disappear.